What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Amalgam Games Lab. I'm your host, Shannon Haegler, alongside Keena Johnson.
My back hurts. I'm old.
It's like
Video games fucking destroy your back. Don't do drugs. Or do. Take some Panadol and fix your back.
Oh, man. Alright, this is the show where we talk about the games industry and gaming at large. Before we dive in, the housekeeping. Check out the Amalgam Show. Talking about pop culture things we are into this week. If you have any questions, remember to comment below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. And you can join our Patreon, because we have filmed our first Patreon exclusive video. It got a bit buggered up in the recording, but we'll load it up. It's $1 a month. That's it for the moment. We're finding other tiers of things to do.
That's at patreon.com/amalgamshow.
Hey! Cool. So...
That was quick.
Yeah. I mean, I like to get the housekeeping out of the way. The other guys like to spend 10 hours on it.
Yeah, Dean. Wherever you are. Not here.
Wherever you are. So we'll dive straight into the stories this week. It's been a few weeks since we've done a Games Lab. Combination of work being a bitch and life being a bitch has made it so that we've had a couple of weeks off. And in that time, a lot of stuff's happened.
A lot of stuff, but a lot of tiny little things that you've definitely seen elsewhere.
Yeah.
We're not going to cover too much of it. One thing I saw was cool was that Dead Cells developer in France, they're paying everyone the same because they only have 40 people. I'm like, cool, communism wins once again. But that's such little, and that's all we can really say.
Shit.
Communism versus capitalism, the French.
Shit. Fuck. Okay.
But so what we thought we might do is talk about things that aren't going to happen for 2 to 3 years, because that's always fun.
Yeah, just kind of have a brief overview, because there's a couple of stories that kind of tie into each other in terms of, over the last couple of weeks, in terms of what the future of video games are going to look like.
It almost seems that companies with lots of money kind of have the same research data.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a little bit...
come to the same conclusion. Streaming is the future. Thanks, Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Fuck you, NBN Co.
Yeah. We've done that already.
I know, but I'm just still going to say it.
Yeah. Of course.
We get surprisingly political on this show. 3 weeks where we just fuck Australia, am I right?
Fuck, yeah.
Fuck off, Clive Palmer. Australia's already great. You just can't see it.
Oh, what a giant douchebag.
But anyway. Generation.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of bits and pieces.
These are reports, and not confirmed. Well,
No,
not confirmed as you can be with a report.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jason Schreier again coming out with possibly...
I want to say it was for the other one. Industry, gamingbiz.net or something.
Yeah.
It was another good, they know what they're doing.
Fairly respectable source. We're looking at Google possibly building their own gaming machine to take on PlayStation and Xbox, and this is interesting.
Very interesting. Because
I don't know how I feel about it.
they have a gaming platform. It's called the Android Google Play Store.
Yeah, it's called Android. They have a gaming platform. There's plenty of games on it. They have, Android has tried to dip its toes in other places before, things like the Steam Box.
Was it Android or Linux?
It could be, I think.
Could be both.
I think so.
Anyway, but yeah, no, there was a bunch of, what's that? The portable laptop, the Proto Switch. Remember the Proto Switches?
Oh, yeah. You're what are they called?
I won't say Tegra, but
Surface?
that's what they ran on.
The Surface tablets?
Kind of, but they're gaming dedicated.
Yeah. Shield. The
Shield.
NVIDIA Shield. Yeah. Those things are apparently pretty cool. They're all Android based, and yeah, Android's really easy to develop for. You can port pretty much anything to it.
And from it.
Apparently. Yeah. And just look at the Steam new release library. It's a bunch of mobile games for
and
it
the
all.
Switch one.
And useless. Fucking Steam. But yeah, them looking to get into the business. I mean, it's interesting because for so long we've had 3 pillars. We have PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo.
And before that, Sega, Nintendo, Sony during that.
Yeah, and then before that, you've got Sega, Nintendo,
Atari.
Yeah. And there's the Jaguar.
Oh, the Jaguar, my favourite. I've never seen one.
And what's it called? The Omega?
Omega's a thing.
Omega?
I don't know who owns it. There's the, what was I going to say? The Atari Lynx.
Yeah, yeah. Oh fuck. I knew a guy that had a Lynx.
You've said this before.
Yeah. It was just the most bizarre thing to see.
I
in
want
a-
that to be like your autobiography name. You're a guy who had a Lynx.
It was the most bizarre thing because he was the guy. There was like, you know, there was one friend that you have in like school that you like go play games. Like you go to his house to play games. That's what you do. Because he always had.
With the thing.
Yeah, he always had like he was the douchebag in school where, oh man, this is gonna sound such a dick thing for me to say. His parents were separated, but it was one of those
Ah, yes.
it was one of those situations where both of the parents were still fighting for his love. So both of them would buy him ridiculous shit all the time. So he just bounced between the two, and he'd always be like, "Oh, my life's so hard because my parents are separated." I'm like, fuck you, man. He's got like a GameCube and an Xbox. Fuck you. Like bullshit.
He didn't even play Rainbow Six 3.
Yeah, like he had all of the essentially whatever I had, because you know my family was, you know, not as well off, so we struggled and kind of got what we could. But whatever I had, he had the version up. Like I had a SNES for ages, and he had an N64. And when I finally got my N64, he got a GameCube. When I finally got like a PS1, he had like the original Xbox ready to go. And then when I finally got myself a PS2, he had a 360. And like it was just like, oh man, I could never get ahead of him, and it just pissed me off. Yeah. Where's I going with that? Oh yeah, Lynx.
Yeah, we talked about this I think before.
Yeah, no, it was just in his bedroom. We were just I think we were playing with Beyblades that day. Because this was when I was like 10, and I was just looking around his bedroom because he also had like a Game Boy and a GBA and all that kind of stuff. And I looked over, and this is big chunky thing. And I looked at it, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" It's a Lynx. I'm like, "Well, yeah."
Sheikah Slate.
Yeah, it was like, and for a 10-year-old, it was like this fucking big.
Yeah.
You're sitting there like, oh my god.
I could kill a guy with this.
Yeah, you'd brain a guy with it pretty easy. Anyway, Google.
Three pillars.
Three
There's
pillars.
going to be a fourth one, and like a lot of people think the gaming industry can't support a fourth pillar, but like,
Oh, it absolutely can.
like we have like PC is a fourth pillar. We've got iOS and Android, which are either one or two pillars, or what, depending on where you look at it. We have the classic industry now, like
Yeah.
Atari and the Genesis things.
Yeah.
Like, there's
the
always-
minis and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like it's always done stuff, and like some people are still rocking PS3s because it's got a fucking awesome library.
Yeah. I was saying earlier today that I was in a cash converters staring at a PS2, looking at it like, maybe I'll just get a PS2. Like, maybe I should get one, play some old games, because I've been wanting to play old games lately, because Octopath Traveler has really resonated with me in a way that makes me want to do old shit. But my concern will be the way this is viewed from the consumer perspective.
Yeah.
As to whether or not the Google platform will have the quote unquote hardcore games.
Which is, I don't know.
And then there's the other perspective of like, if it is just a Google Android box, and it is full of the stuff that you see on the Android store, what's the fucking point of it?
Yeah.
Because everyone who has either an Android phone or an iOS phone can access those games already.
Yeah.
So what? I'm paying a couple $100 to plug this thing into my TV?
And get ads on my TV.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's the thing is that it's being codename Google Yeti is going to be a high-end streaming
Cool
device.
Yeti. What a dumb name. Anyway,
Oh, codenames are always dumb. The Dolphin,
Durango was pretty cool.
Durango's dumb.
Durango's fine.
It reminds me of
Morpheus,
that's a cool one.
the Neo.
Oh fuck, that's what the Pro was called.
Yeah, the Neo and the Morpheus.
Is PlayStation 5 Trinity? Is that what would?
I don't know. I don't know if
Fucking
I don't know if we've got a code name for it yet. All we know is it's in R&D.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have a code name yet.
Sure, call it Trinity. Because I can't think of like what a third. Vita 2 is Trinity.
Oh god. Oh god. But yeah, and then the Scorpio was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Lately they've been good.
They've been good.
Before, I was gonna say the Wii.
But that was
Revolution.
a Nintendo Revolution.
Yeah,
That was a pretty good code. Like,
yeah.
the code names are not bad.
PSX was cool.
Yeah, like the code names are not
Okay, yeah.
bad.
No,
But
okay.
Yeti is a bit of a dumb one.
I didn't like Orbis or Durango.
Orbis.
There's a point to it, but it's Orbis. Like,
Durango I liked. Maybe it's because it just reminded me of Django Unchained, the movie.
I think it
really
reminded
like.
me of the Johnny Depp animated.
Oh yeah, that
I think
fucking
that's what I associate
piece
it
of
with.
shit.
So I think you associate it with a good movie, I associate it with a bad movie.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a streaming device, so you're just gonna like stream. You're gonna be able to play Fortnite streaming on it.
Yeah, and again, like I just don't get it. Like if you're going to play, like I guess Fortnite specifically is a bit of a weird one because
Game, I pull that out of my arse.
no. Like I actually think it's a good one because it's the fucking biggest game on the planet. So it's a good one to actually look at.
Fortnite 2. Minecraft 2.
Because Fortnite's a bit of a weird circumstance because you have that issue there of Sony blocking themselves off from Fortnite
With other consoles.
Yeah, so it's like you play it on the PlayStation. That's all you can play it on. But when it pertains to like Switch, PC, iOS, and Xbox, the accounts are all interchangeable on those ones. Now you can't switch. I learned this recently. Currency you buy.
Yeah, V-Bucks.
So you buy. So literally the ones you buy because you can earn V-Bucks in game.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you actually purchase, like I buy Xbox credit and I use that Xbox credit to buy V-Bucks, that stuff is non-transferable.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck Sony's on about then.
So that stuff is non-transferable, but if you go into a store, buy $15 of Xbox credit, go into the Epic, go into your Microsoft account, use the credit, buy V-Bucks through the Epic launcher, then use that V-Bucks to purchase an item in the Xbox store, that item can be transferred to the other thing.
It
So-
just counts as the earnable.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So anything earned in the game is transferable.
Yeah.
But anything purchased with credit, actual credit you purchase,
Yeah.
remains on the system that you've got.
That's a weird...
It's a really weird loophole. But essentially that means that when you are playing on an iOS device or an Android device and you log into your Switch or your Xbox, it's the same account and you can play it on your TV. So, like, the only use case I can see of, like, oh, you get to play your iOS or Android version on your phone, on your TV. Oh, wait a second, I can already do that.
Yeah.
The point is still lost. I don't want to play Bejeweled on my TV.
No. What about Plants vs. Zombies?
I can already do that. I can already do that.
Exactly.
Like, the thing with... Okay, so the thing with the console market is that the way it tends to go is that the console with the most innovation, or the console with the thing that differentiates itself usually is the one that wins out. So
I would maybe...
because it's never the one with the most power.
No, I would... Okay, that's a very good... I was going to say the PS3 because of the cell processor being
No. I'm talking more about the fact that, like, in the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, the 360 won out because of Xbox Live.
Live.
Not hardware. I'm talking about innovation. Something that's different.
Yeah.
And so, like, the PS2 wins out because of its, DVD player. And, the fact that it did have a little bit more raw power behind it and just looked a little bit, sharper and cooler. The 360 wins out because Xbox Live. The Wii wins out because it's family orientated. It's a thing that anyone can play. The PS4 wins out because it's simple. In a world where
across almost everything.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the PS2. I want a fucking keyboard, not a fucking...
Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. But, that's things though that's software they can change. But in terms of, like, just its base level, like, when it came out, everyone's expecting the next generation to be, like, just tons and tons more, but they just simplified it. It's just a powerful box with what it can do, and it's just simple, and it does everything easily, and it's quick, and it's snappy, and it just does it. And it's exactly what you wanted from the next generation that time, of just like, can I put the disc in and just play the game? Yes, that's what you can do.
Xbox was like, nah.
Yeah.
Your disc literally ties itself to the box.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like,
yeah.
It just got really confusing. Yeah, and it's just like, no, just plug the disc in.
And that's the thing, is that, like, it's...
That's how Vita died.
And I think, honestly, this generation is probably going to get won by the Switch. Because of its innovation of, like, holy shit, this thing actually works.
Yeah, it
like,
does what it says on the box.
Yes, like, oh, wow, I'm playing this game on my TV, and you know what? Snap, pick up, and holy shit, it's still here.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. I can see so many people I know want to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got one. I think, you were definitely the first person I knew who had one.
Yep, I've had one for a year. I fucking love it.
Nathaniel bought one. I bought one. Reese bought one a day after I did.
Yeah.
Dean is waiting for his tax return to get one. My brother doesn't make enough money for anything because he works at the fucking KFC. and just doesn't make any money. But he still wants one. I have friends in my other group's friend, like my housemate wants one, but I'm like, for you, she wants like, should I get one now? I'm just like, you won't play any of the games that are out now. Like she wants like Pokemon and Animal Crossing when it comes out. Animal Crossing will come out.
Hey, for her,
wait till the Boxing Day or the what do they call it?
Black Friday sales.
Black Friday, which is the 4-day mega sale in Australia.
Yeah. What she should do is just place one on lay-by. Go to a place, put it on lay-by, and pay it off.
I'll suggest that. I didn't even think of lay-by.
Yeah, because at this point, like we're at the tail end of like mid-year sales and all that kind of shit. So there's nothing really good happening. But if you can secure one now and you can pay it off bit by bit, then that's not going to sting as much. Yeah. And then by the time you pay it off, like mostly at lay-by terms are about 8 weeks. We're looking at the end of October. Yeah. Or middle of October, and then
Pokemon's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, at that point, like 2 to 4 weeks away for Pokemon, and then like a couple, and Smash should be out by then.
Smash is December.
So yeah, a couple more weeks after that is Smash. So like that's a perfect thing to do. Yeah. But yeah, the Switch is just like it's that.
What my point is that like I have so many friends that want one. I can see it. Maybe not. I can see it outpacing Xbox One, which is fucking incredible. Still,
I can see it outpacing PlayStation.
I
They're on track for 20 million units by the end of this year. That's 2 years. It's not even 2 years in. The Switch has only been out for less than a year and a half.
Yeah.
And they are on track for 20 million units by December. Which is half of what the PlayStation did in like double the time or something.
Yeah. PlayStation's up to 70 or 80 million at the moment.
And it's been out for 5 years.
Yeah. If it keeps going at this trajectory, maybe.
If it goes at this pace, if Nintendo can keep up the pace of the releases, like if next year they come out with another thing that is
Animal Crossing, then it'll be next gen Pokemon. It'll be
next year. Like we have a next gen Pokemon. Like they said, 2019 for that 2019, thing. Yeah. So we've got that already in the can. That one's gonna move.
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh god, I fucking hope so.
I fucking hope they re-release Trilogy. That'd be great. Like they could, and they can just port every Zelda game, and Nathaniel and I will be fucking chuffed as cheese. Like, that's not even a saying. I just said that. What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll make it a thing. Chuffed as cheese. Make it a thing.
I think mice is chuffing mice. I don't know. But anyway, my point is, Switch is doing really well. I don't know how Google can compete. Besides the fact that they'll just throw marketing at this.
Yes, that's the thing. Is that they have a big. That was the thing that I'm actually looking at and going like, Google is a big company. Very big. Huge. Monolithic. Yeah. Like, in the dystopia future where 5 corporations own everything, Google's one of those 5.
There's a thing I've been learning. Like, it is like we have it's like an alphabet. There's a word to it. Like, sorry. There's a name where it's like Amazon, Netflix, Google. It spells out something.
Oh, okay.
Netflix, it spells something out. I don't remember what it is. Bang. No, I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But anyway, they are already the 5 big companies that will ruin you.
Yeah. They're the end of the world. The apocalypse is around there.
Yeah, the 5 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, and they but the thing with Google is that their brand recognition comes off the search engine, and that's it. That's what people think of Google as. Yeah. It's like Google, it's that thing I type on my computer and it gives me the answers. That's all they think of it about. They don't, a lot of people don't realize that Google owns YouTube.
Yeah, I often forget that, but yeah.
Or even if you know it, you forget it, because it's not a thing that they advertise very often. Yeah. Google only really just started doing their phone hardware stuff.
They've only started doing hardware. Yeah. They've been doing Android for ages, but hardware specifically, like Pixel, great piece of hardware. The Cast, what are they called?
Google Chromecast.
Yeah, it's Chromecast. Homes is what I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah.
Like they're doing more hardware and they're good.
Yeah.
If not the best. Like, it depends on like what Pixel has the best camera because it is hardware plus software.
Like they're good at it, and that totally makes sense, and I can see why they would want to go there. But I just don't. It's a little bit interesting, and when Sony entered the gaming market, people were wondering what the hell.
Yeah.
They were like, "What do you mean this?" Sony, the guys that make the cameras and the TVs,
and the Walkman,
the Walkman, like those guys are gonna make some. But the thing is, they threw enough money at it. They came out of the gate with something. One of the best consoles ever.
Yeah. CDs. Who would have thought that would have been
holy fucking shit.
Final Fantasy 4?
7.
8 having 4 discs?
Yeah. 7 having 3.
Yeah. But I'm just like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but
anyway.
But the thing is, they banked on their they banked on their own recognition as well. That people knew that Sony made good hardware.
True.
They made good stuff. So there was at least that much.
They were like leading.
But not only that, they then decided to make themselves, they differentiate itself by giving it its own brand, PlayStation. There are so many people who don't look at the PlayStation as a Sony thing. It's a PlayStation.
It's weird.
That's what it is.
My family used to call the PlayStation the Sony. Hey, Mum, can I play Sony? And then one day I sort of woke up and like, no, it's called the PlayStation. I'm going to start calling it the PlayStation. And that's when I got a little bit pretentious because I was a teenager, but that's what teenagers do.
Yes.
But it was also like, no, now I call it the PlayStation. I could have kept calling it the Sony.
I mean, but
that's just my family. I'm not sure if that was like
no,
same with Nintendo. It's with the Nintendo. I think you can call everything the Nintendo because they all have the Nintendo prefix. Like
yes, everything is like, yeah. I mean, I actually sometimes very rarely refer to the Switch as the Switch, except for when I'm talking like specifically, like when I'm talking to someone about it. But most of the time, I call any Nintendo console in my house the Nintendo. Yeah. Because that's what they are. They're a Nintendo Switch, Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U.
I think the only ones that kind of get away from that is the Game Boy, the portables.
Like, the portables are different because they've got their own branding. Yeah. But and even like the older stuff because you call it the NES and the SNES, like that's just like shorthand.
Yeah, but at the time they're called the Nintendo. Like
yeah,
you could like people call them that, and that's just point of branding. I think whatever the Google box is, like it's not going to come out called we're the Yeti because no one's going to buy that.
No, they'll give it a name, but
if it does give it its own name, if it's not like the Google box or the Google, I can't even call it Google Play, Google.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna call it. I don't know what they're gonna.
If they do like, okay, so these other things like the Google Pixel, Pixel's kind of its own brand as well now. Like it's these own, they are splintering, in good, I think good ways. I like Google as a company. Just putting that out there. I'm not like I'm also like target me with good ads. I'll appreciate that. Good ads. The algorithm fucked at the moment. But anyway, that's a conversation unto itself.
Yeah, it's a conversation another time. But the thing I was going to say though is that that brand recognition floats over even more because you were saying that like you called it the Sony and not the PlayStation.
Until like pissed.
It's really odd having them all set up there now because I'm looking at them. I'm pointing at the PlayStation. I'm pointing at the Switch and the Xbox. Yeah. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm pointing at the actual console. When I was working in EB Games stores, and even when I talk to like friends and like family members who don't play video games, they refer to any console as the PlayStation,
including the Xbox.
Yeah. So if I'm sitting on like when I was a kid and I was like in my room and my little crappy TV and I was sitting on my bed and I had my Xbox controller in my hand, and like auntie, uncle came in or someone that like a family friend, walk in like, oh hi Shannon, I see you're playing PlayStation, like that they saw gaming console, they thought PlayStation. And like that is the thing. I don't know if companies anymore have the time to build that recognition anymore, because if you don't, in this world of like instant gratification and fast money and all that kind of stuff, if you don't hit it out of the gate, then what are you? Yeah. And so like if Google doesn't like slam into the gate with a bunch of releases and really good hardware and all this kind of stuff, it's just going to peter out. I don't think in this day and age you have the ability to do an Xbox and just trash it and start again. I don't know if you...
Google is the only other company that can do what Microsoft did, was to take the biggest fucking hit of their lives. Yeah. And Xbox was not profitable till years into the 360 life cycle.
They can do it, but in this day and age, I just don't see them doing it. Because if they take a loss... Like, the only reason Xbox is still around is because they had enough people in the company who are willing to vouch for it and fight for it.
And Google, then 360 ended up being
the most amazing thing. But even though they took a loss on that too for the first...
well, they recouped it with like games and Xbox Live.
Yeah, but it was $1 billion loss the first year. Yeah. But I don't know if... And again, I don't know the machinations of Google as a company. Yeah. But I don't know if there's a part of the board or a higher up level people who, if Google posts a loss on this thing, aren't just going to go, nah, fuck it then, and just burn it.
Who knows? Because all their other endeavors have been good, but like, for me, the Pixel is like, it's kind of like we figured out what everyone else is doing, and then we're going to sync our hardware and software team together, which is pretty good. Like, you let everyone else figure out your shit first, and then you go from there. The voice things, just even the OK Google software and just applying that to everything is great. Like they've.
I keep waiting for that to activate,
no,
and
I
I
was
realize it's
worried. I'm
unplugged.
like,
It's
yeah.
unplugged. It's fine.
Oh. I'm just-
Trace the cord. It's unplugged.
But it's stuff like, they've got that down pat, and like the other hardware are doing well. Gaming consoles traditionally don't work. Like, there's out of all the consoles, including handhelds, most of them fail. The Ouya, which we talked about on our last episode that we recorded, the Shield, it might have its own success, but it's not mainstream. The Vita is a failure.
It's a
sales failure, but it's an indie darling.
Yeah.
Now everyone just fucking
Not only
Switch.
that, like I totally get what you mean, because there have been way more gaming consoles than what are currently on the market.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at those, there have been way more consoles in history. When you look at things like the Omega, the Jaguar, the Dreamcast,
The
the Mega Drive, the Odyssey, all of these consoles that came out, during our lifetimes. There has been a lot of them, and 90% of them failed, or didn't meet expectations.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it's very interesting for a company like Google to say they want to do this, because consoles very rarely make money. They don't make money. Like they make
until 3-4 years into their life.
Yeah, so this is a long-term business strategy, and I wonder where it's coming from. I'm guessing that this is all on the back of Fortnite. The biggest game in the world, making such fucking money. It's like
That's
$100
the
million.
thing. They don't need to do it. They've got it on Android.
Yeah, but the thing is, what they're thinking. The only thing I can say that they could possibly be thinking about is that you got Fortnite, and this thing is making $100 million a month. That's the current estimate.
Yeah.
The last time I checked, $100 million a month. The only thing that I can think about Google wanting to do this is them going, what if we made the next one?
You can't capture lightning in the bottle.
No.
You can't engineer lightning in a bottle.
No.
Like, you won't get the next Minecraft. Like, unless they want to buy Epic, which, fuck, they could.
No, they couldn't.
Is Epic...
Well, Epic's partly owned by Tencent.
Oh, fuck, yeah, that's right.
So unless... I don't know if Google is actually that strong yet.
Yeah.
Because Tencent's... Again, I've said it on the podcast before. Look into Tencent.
Yeah.
That's a fucking scary corporation.
Yeah.
But, the thing... I don't know what the rationale is behind it. I don't know if it works. Unless Google is also willing to bear the brunt of... Because if this is going to be a streaming box, then I get it. It's just, like... If it's going to be a streaming box, then I bet you all this is like
an ad for Google Fiber.
It's a Roku. It's one of those. Like, those things that can just... It can stream the games off your phone onto your TV. It's just another box to have in the house that'll connect your house, and it's a connected device.
Yeah. I think that's what it will end up being.
It just might come with its own proprietary controller. Like a Google controller that looks and feels like a PlayStation or Xbox controller.
And you can just yell, "G'day Google," and then like... It just
Can you
looks
yell
like...
"G'day Google"?
No, I'm saying it so I don't say it.
They should do that. They should let us be like, "G'day Google."
Suck cunt.
Yes! Oh, if I could edit my Google Home to react to sup cunt, I
Oi,
would
cunt.
totally do that.
Why can't how do I fucking cook a dish? Set a timer for 20 minutes, you
I would
can't.
totally do that. I would totally do it. I would name my Google Home cunt. And just so my parents around, I'd be like, "Oi, cunt." And they'd be like, "What did you say?" And then Google would pop up. If I could program it to insult me back too,
We'll get there.
like
This
that'd
is
be
like-
so good.
This is second gen voice activation, like AI.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I've never been one for voice activation because I always think it sucks. But I've had a Google Home for about a year now, and that thing's not bad.
I use my Google Assistant a lot, like
Yeah.
for timers. Like now, I moved into a new place. I don't have a timer on my oven, so I just use my phone. And it just works.
Yeah, it's
It just
crazy.
works.
And I think so this thing I think it's more likely to be some sort of like Apple Home. What are they called? Apple
TV.
Apple TV. Yeah, so something like that. A little box. You plug it into your TV. It streams your games that are like on the mobile device and all that kind of stuff. But it just comes with a gaming controller, what we consider a traditional game controller. Something like that. Because on the other side we've got Xbox, the Scarlett.
which I like that code name. It's a nice, like, going colours is good.
Yeah.
And also, mystery. Whenever I think Scarlett, I do think mystery.
Yeah. But yeah. So 2 boxes.
Two boxes for the price of one and a
2
half.
boxes.
Because what they're doing is, reportedly, they're going to come out next big
Allegedly.
fuck off box. It's going to be, hey, here's your box. It's a box. it's got boxes.
It's gonna be way too expensive out of the box. Yep.
Hopefully it's pretty good. And then they're going to come out with a smaller streaming focused one where it's like budget priced, which could, like, if streaming works, even in like select markets, like even if it is like California, like even if it is New York sort of thing, if it can be successful in there, that'll be the primary console. And you get it for a fuck ton cheaper, and you don't have to worry about discs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is one of those things where I hope Xbox has done the proper market research on this.
But even if that one fucks up, the next one will probably do well.
But it's still a thing of like, are they doing the American company thing where they only think of Americans, because the world still exists.
Yeah. Well, some places in Europe, Japan.
Some places in Europe and Japan, yeah, but Xbox doesn't sell well in Japan.
They always want to try. Once a generation, they give it a good old college try. And I respect them for that. Japan's a good console market.
I mean, it's the birthplace of like the modern video game system. What we think of modern video games.
What we
Japan is kind of
they were developed in America.
Yeah.
It's of course, where does the sushi roll come from? It's really America, but Japan. But anyway, for me, I will not be buying the streaming console because I've still got like. I don't get NBN in my place until 2020, and I could be moving again if my housemate fucks off and leaves.
I won't be getting it because even I've got NBN, and I just don't like the idea of a streaming console.
I like for maybe smaller games. Like if I could, that's the point. If I had good internet, I would download smaller games faster. I don't know.
Like it just yeah.
If it was seamless, like if it was just,
I guess it's the old school part of me that's like, no, I want to own the thing that I bought.
Yeah.
If I bought it, I want to be able to play it whenever I want to play it. If it's a streaming device and they decide that they want to take that off the streaming service, then I'm shit out of luck, aren't I?
Yeah.
Because it's not owned by me in any way.
Yeah.
So
for me, it would be good for like free to play games. Like if I could just stream Fortnite like to my console and play it, that's fine. Because for me, Fortnite is a disposable game. Like I have not put any money into it. I could like fuck around, but if I could stream Final Fantasy 14, like up until you have to start paying for it, like that's fine. That's good. That's like still 50 hours of content or whatever.
Yeah.
Just stream that. Then like more free to play focused stuff, I think could work.
Yeah.
Or even if it was like your PS Plus or your not games with gold, but yes, that's
Game Pass.
Game Pass. If you could just do those kind of things, just stream it. Because they're free, like you're not necessarily invested in them as much, and like your subscription. So it's like if I was playing Mad Max or XCOM 2 streamed with good internet that didn't hitch all the time, I'd be fine with that. I think if they go from that model, perhaps it could work.
The thing that interests me more about this is the 2 boxes idea, because console manufacturers don't tend to do that. They tend to launch one box and then at a later point release a second one and have both SKUs going simultaneously. And that's how you end up with one's the cheaper version, one's the more expensive version. And then they maybe release a third iteration and then get rid of the old. Like, what we've got currently where the Xbox One came out, then the One S came out, and it was like, the S is like, that's the better version, then the One kind of dropped in price, so you can get that one if you want. Then they released the X, and that's the more expensive version. You kind of got 3 happening, and they stopped making the One, so it's kind of the S and the X, and you pick which one you want.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what they normally do.
Yeah.
But for them to straight out the gate be like, cool, here's your cheaper version if you want it, here's your more expensive version if you want it. That's interesting. I think
I want to say PS3 launched with 2 like memory SKUs.
Yes, like 40 and 60 gig.
360 did as well.
Yes, they had like a 128 megabyte hard drive, and then like a 20 gigabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
I believe was the two SKUs
That's
at that
memory.
point.
That's very different.
Yeah, it's very
Like,
different because functionally they're identical.
Yeah. Yes.
Unlike what we've got this generation where we have the X and the S, which is a 4K box, and then like a 4K streaming box, but everything else runs at 1080, slightly upscaled.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Pro and the PS4, which is like, well, this is 1080 with some HDR and then 4K, but not really 4K. It's super sample 4K. 4K.
You've not heard that term before.
No, I haven't. That's
Yeah,
great.
4K.
4K. That's. Oh, I hate gamers sometimes.
And then it's 4K with Crash Bandicoot. Have you not heard any of these terms?
No, I heard 4K.
Yeah,
I
4K.
didn't want to remember
You didn't
that.
want that.
I didn't. I don't.
Well, now it's on
I
Xbox
can't
One X.
fuck off.
And Switch.
Yeah, no, that's Crash is coming back with a vengeance again.
It's only back with the vengeance if he actually puts out a new game. Activision.
I mean, I don't know. When it released last year, it fucking kicked everyone's ass in sales for like 3 weeks straight.
It did for
Like,
ages. Like, yeah,
with the vengeance, like there was literally no other game on the charts. Like it was like crash, 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 crash. I don't think the releases on Xbox and Switch have done as well. I think they're
probably not, because there's not like this big fervor around it. But I think Spyro is going to like,
Spyro might do,
and then it'll
decent
come
work.
back again when it gets.
Although Spyro might get lost in the shuffle because it's right in the smack bang of like all the new releases. Like I think it is.
Crash really.
I think it is before. No, it's after Destiny Forsaken, but before Spider-Man. I want to say.
2 Insomniac games coming out.
So it's like. Yeah, it's like, or it's either.
It's something like that.
I think it's late September actually, so it's like after Spider-Man but before Black Ops. So it's kind of like caught in the middle of like.
Black Ops is October.
Yeah, October. So it's late September.
Yeah.
It's got Spider-Man, late September Spyro, and then October.
Is it?
Because it's early October this time.
What's late October?
Late October is Red Dead.
No, I mean September. Sorry.
Spyro, I think.
Spyro, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
And then there'll be.
Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man's mid. I think it's
Yeah.
like 15th or something like that.
There's another game in there.
Forza Horizon 4.
There's another game in there. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
Isn't Assassin's Creed Odyssey is early October?
Yeah,
It's like the
first week
5th
of
or
October.
something like that.
Yeah.
But I think Spyro might get lost in the shuffle because they didn't Crash, they were really smart. They released it like a week after E3 when everything's a little bit slumpy and everyone wants something to do.
Yeah.
This time around, like I said, Spyro is like right in the middle of a launch season, so everything new and shiny is coming out. I don't know if a nostalgia game is going to cut through that.
And also, Crash has a bigger fan base than Spyro.
Yeah.
But
Although there is a Venn diagram that's pretty big between those two.
I mean that Venn diagram, but it is smaller. It is just.
Yes.
I think it won't do as well, but it'll still be. I hope Activision's still impressed by the numbers, because
I'm sure they will be.
Their projection for like Insane Trilogy probably nothing. Like,
I actually think it was kind of dumb for them to do all of the systems at once. I think they should have done the same thing and just like do it on PlayStation first, because that'll get the fervor.
Yeah.
That'll make people go, oh yeah, it's a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
I'm playing my old PlayStation game. And then
But Spider-Man also.
it was literally how I sold like working at EB during the launch of Crash was just fucking incredible. Because it was just people walking in just being like, I want to buy a PlayStation and Crash. That's all they wanted. They were just like, fucking, these Crash Bandicoots back, man. And it's like just dumping money on it. Insane people. So glad I don't have to do that anymore. But yeah, I just... It's interesting they're going to go with the 2 boxes.
Yeah.
That allegedly, reportedly, might be looking at 2 boxes. Because I think that's a... It's the same thing that, like, when the Switch came out, I was like, huh, that's right. Like, I don't know why consoles don't come with 2 controllers. I know why, because you get more money off of selling off the second controller. But a console coming with 2 controllers is such a good thing to market to families. Like, it's such... Like, you would get more sales. Like, if you were to increase the cost of the box by $50 but include a controller in there, you'd probably still make the money.
Yeah.
But having that second controller, like, from launch day would just make you be like, oh... Like, a bunch of parents wouldn't be hesitant to buy it.
Yeah.
They'd just be like, oh, okay, cool.
even me, like, or just make a bundle that has 2 controllers. Like, for me, the PS4 bundle I got was the Killzone Shadowfall one, which included the camera, 2 controllers, and the console. And Killzone.
I mean, PlayStation did do one recently where there was a second controller in the bundle.
Yeah.
But they tend to do it with, like, dumb games. Like, I think it was a FIFA console. It's like,
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Even though I know no one. I know, actually, one friend who plays them every so often. That he's like the only guy, but he's not like, I'm FIFA. I'm like, he's the soccer guy. Like, he played soccer IRL and he likes playing FIFA every now and then.
Yeah.
He's like the one guy in my entire life, and that being like one of the most successful games of all time.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's successful in a demographic that is not here in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, it sells well in Australia, like, really well, because like, most of the time, because it's a sports game you can play online and with friends. Like, that's just a game that people get. But for the most part, its actual highest hitting demographic is in Europe.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers will buy anything if it's got soccer on it.
Rocket League.
It's
It's a fucking good game, that's why.
Yeah. But yeah, like having the 2 controllers, like the Switch having the 2 Joy-Cons, it's like, oh, it's 2 controllers. Oh, fuck, that makes sense. Like, why doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah.
Because I even have...
The Switch is so elegant, though. It's perfectly elegant that, yeah. And it comes with the Joy Grip.
Yeah,
so
the
you
grip.
don't need
Yeah, it is 2 controllers and it isn't 2 controllers.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But, like...
The Switch
Yeah.
isn't engineering, like... what's the word? Like, fantastic. I don't know. It's
Masterpiece?
fucking... Masterpiece is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I don't know. Like, well done, Nintendo. You made a fucking child's toy, and then you made...
Yeah, a technological marvel in the one thing. I told you, man, like, the first time I played my Switch, it was like fucking magic.
Yeah.
Like, just the way it works, the way it's slotted in.
It's like sort of slow, just realization of like, hey, wait a minute, this is really good. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, because I played it with Nathaniel so much first, and then I'm like getting him like, wait a minute, this is...
It was when I first got mine, and I took it to work, because it was a few months after launch, 'cause I got it in August for my birthday, and it launched in March, so it's 5 months after launch, and people were still a little bit like, what's a Switch? What do you, like, how is it? And my manager would take it to work so that he could show people his version.
Yeah.
And I decided, well, he was having a day off, I was going in, I was like, I'll just take mine instead. And it was having it there and turning it on and showing people and just being like, do you want to play a video game?
Yeah.
Like, no TV, no nothing, just do you want to play a video game? You can play one right now. This is Zelda. Fucking go for it. Like, look how good this is. And it looks good. And just being able to sync up a controller to it in seconds. Like, just the dun 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 dun. We're in. I'm in. I don't have to fucking hook up this shit. And then how quickly it snaps from the dock to the screen. Like, it just... Yeah, it is...
It just works.
It's... Yeah, and then that's the thing is, like... I'm getting more impressed by that stuff as I get older, of like, when a thing just works, that is the best. Because when a thing doesn't work, that's when you notice its flaws more.
Yeah.
Like, my Xbox is a piece of fucking shit, and I hate it. It's a Netflix box, and that's all it's fucking good for at this point, and I'm really sad about it, because I wanted to like the Xbox One. I have friends who are huge Xbox fans, and they only got PlayStations, like very late in the life cycle to play some games that they missed out on. And I was always a PlayStation fan. And they got their PlayStations, and they bought their games that they went with it, and they played them, and they love it. They love having both of the consoles. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get a 360. And the 360 I got was a piece of fucking trash. It was brand new out of the box, and every game I played was glitched or broken in some sort of way. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Maybe just bad luck.
I'm just bad. Yeah, apparently I just have bad luck.
You were getting patches?
Yep, getting patches, getting all that kind of stuff. It just busted in some different way. It would take forever to load. It made a lot of noise. I got rid of it eventually. I picked up my Xbox One. It was fine. I had not the best internet, but okay internet when I got the Xbox One. Took a day for the first patch to load up, which kind of drove me nuts. Ever since then, I had nothing but problems. Eventually, I had the original Xbox One. Its power supply gave up. I had to swap it out, get a warranty replacement, and get a new one. The one I currently have is just slow. Like, it just takes for fucking ever to do anything on the dashboard. It just sits there and
do you think that's the box, or is that...
It's the box.
Okay.
It's the box. It's got to be, because, like, when you're I've played games on that Xbox and played the same game on my PlayStation, and there is no problem. But I just don't know what the issue is, but it's definitely got to be the UI. It's the user interface. It's designed for it to have a Kinect plugged in, and it doesn't have one because I fucking hate that shit. And so it's clunky and doesn't work, and it feels like it's loading everything. And I don't even have, like, honestly, because I don't use it that much, I don't have anything installed on my Xbox at the moment. It's not loading anything. It's loading 3 apps: YouTube, Netflix, and the WWE Network. That's it. That's all I've got on there.
Do you know if the S and X are built not needing Connect and always online?
No, because they're using the same architecture.
Okay,
it's just that they've put the power supply internally. They have beefed up the GPU and CPU a little bit, but in terms of the UI and functionality, they're all working off the same base architecture. So
I can't wait for the Scarlett. I want them to do a refresh.
So apparently, even with all of the updates to the UI and all that kind of stuff, because I don't have an S, but apparently the S is better when you're in game. But the UI is just as clunky, just as problematic, and it's like, they had the chance when they launched the X to just start again, and they didn't. Because the S and X don't even have the port for the Kinect on them. They ripped it out. But they still have the UI designed with the intention of you having a Kinect. And it just makes everything so slow on that Xbox. And I want to love my Xbox. I want to really bad, but I just can't, because putting in a game and downloading it. I have NBN now, and I've already done this before. Like, putting in a game, and you have to download half of it off the server, and then install part of it off the disc,
and then
it takes a fucking age to get anything done on that fucking system. And then when it finally loads up, you're like, okay, cool, I can go in. But it's got that that fucking, like, ready to start feature, which the PlayStation has too, but it tends to, for me, I don't know why, I must have it turned off or something on there that I don't know. But when my PlayStation tells me I'm ready to play something, I'm ready to play it. When the Xbox tells me I'm ready to play something, it's that fucking thing where it's like, oh no, you can load the start menu. You can't actually play the game. We're still installing shit in the background.
That's weird, because, like, I was playing, it worked for me. Like, I was downloading Doom. Doom was taking forever to download for whatever reason. I got the first 2 chapters done. I'm like, fuck, I want to keep playing this.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good. And that's like...
never works for me.
What you're saying, I don't own an Xbox One. I've seen it, my brother use it, and I'm like, this is fucking clunky. I like, just in terms of, like, the UI. I'm like,
it looks like a dog's breakfast too.
It reminds me of the PS3. Everything. Like, the PS3, general XMB, I really like the XMB. Like, you can just focus on the game part, or you can go to printer settings.
Yeah. I like the XMB. Yeah.
They should have kept it for the Vita. And it's a generally good UI. Maybe it is too much, though. PS4 streamlined it the fuck. Like, it kind of still has the... It's like 2 layers of XMB. You've got games, and you've got settings.
Yeah.
It's good. Yes, but the problem with that, it was finicky. Like, it didn't load things. Like, the PlayStation Store took forever to load. Downloading games took forever. It didn't have this cool start feature, but you could also just not turn on patches and just start your game from your disc. You could still do, but a lot of games are broken when they ship.
Yeah.
It's just like all the little things, like PS3. You're like, fuck, this can be a good thing. We just like, being a PS3 person and like listening to like Podcast Beyond, where it was just like, we fucking desperate to get this thing great. We have the games, Uncharted, Last of Us, like, we're good, but the fucking hardware just doesn't work properly anymore. And PS4, beautiful. Maybe getting a little bit. Well, I think it's just mine. Mine just like sound like a jet engine. And like,
that's just age.
Console.
I mean, like, I'm wanting to love, like even today. Walked into a store. Looked through their pre-owned 360 titles because it's backwards compatible. There's stuff that
they're fucking cheap as chips.
Cheap as shit. Walked in, and I do the same thing every time because I've been wanting to do it for a while now. Because I got rid of my 360 because I couldn't stand it anymore. So I've been looking for a specific game that I was kind of like, you know what? I know they're backwards compatible. I would like to play them again. And it'd be on my Xbox One X. That'd be great. Well, not X. Xbox One.
Yeah.
And I found it. I found a copy of the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Mass Effect.
Yes! So I just
Like, was it the bundle of trilogy?
yeah,
or
the
just...
trilogy, the
Cool,
actual
cool,
bundle
cool.
one. Yeah, so all three of them.
That's the
in
only
there.
way you can get Mass Effect on a disc on the PS3.
Yes,
It's
Mass
the only
Effect
way
1.
you can get it.
Yeah,
Yes. Mass
yeah.
Effect 1, yeah.
Yes,
You
yeah.
can download it, or it's the only way you can get the
Yeah,
disc.
or you can
version.
play the comic book in the
Oh,
Mass
yeah.
Effect 2.
Comic
Yeah.
book, yeah, but
Yeah, no, because originally I got, probably told the story before, a friend of mine gave me Mass Effect 2 on PS3 because I didn't have a 360, said you need to play this game. Tried to play it about 4 or 5 times, got bored, never touched it.
Yeah.
Bought the 360, bought the trilogy, said, okay, I'm going to start from 1 and play it all through. Finished it in 2 weeks, all 3 of them.
I like race through my games.
But yeah, I found it, and like it's sitting in my car right now. Like when I get home, I'm probably gonna try and install that to the Xbox and play it.
Yeah.
And it'll be the first time I'm gonna try and use the backwards compatibility stuff. So we'll see how that goes because I haven't used it yet.
Tell me how Mass Effect 3 goes without, like, you need the online to, like, get the perfect ending. Like, you need the galactic readiness for Mass.
Oh, it sits. I already know that it sits at 50.
It just does?
It just sits at 50 because I played it 2 years after that game came out.
2014.
So they had already dumped the servers on that one.
Okay.
So yeah, all it does is when you get to your galactic readiness, it just sits at 50, and it doesn't have the same impact it used to have. Like galactic readiness doesn't have the same impact on the story as it used to have. They like changed some things, so leaving it at 50 doesn't actually affect anything.
'Cause my main thing is a remaster. Like, whenever I think about a remaster, I'm like, you need to fix 1, because 1 is janky. It works, but it's janky.
It is, and
then 3, it's a galactic readiness thing, which relied on online stuff, and I never played multiplayer.
well, the thing is, the multiplayer servers are back up.
Yeah.
So like with the backwards compatibility, so you could probably do it.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult.
But like in any case, like I'm thinking of a remaster. Like
Yeah.
give it a fresh thing and just
Yeah,
like,
give it a fresh coat of paint. Well, and that's the thing is like the backwards compatibility stuff on Xbox seems to be really good because they do give it like a frame rate update and a slight upgrade.
and the X apparently fucking makes everything 4K. Like,
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
Dead looks like a fucking
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so like
60s movie.
I'm very excited because like the thing that I'm looking at with Xbox in the future is that they're going to keep this backwards compatible shit. So like
hope so.
now I've got this copy of this game, I most likely will be able to play it on the next one as well.
I hope that is the case. It's what they're telegraphing, and I hope they're not lying. And
so like that's great. I really want them to do it better this time because like there are so many little things about the Xbox that just like they bug me.
they add up.
The
and then-
the UI is clunky. It takes too long to load. It doesn't have the games library that I wanted it to have. I thought I was going to be playing like Halos and Fables and all this kind of stuff and Gears of War and oh man, all these good games that I didn't have a chance to. And it took forever for one to come out that I actually gave a fuck about. Yeah. And then they canned it. Yeah. I really wanted to play Scalebound. Really wanted to play that game.
As a platinum game, I probably would have like.
I thought it looked really cool, and I was really like, man, even if it's like a B grade game, I don't care. That thing looks really dope.
Yeah.
Nah. Fuck you, Shannon. Apparently.
Correcting on 3.
And it's the other little things as well. Like I don't like the controller. Like that's me.
Yeah.
A lot of people love the Xbox controller. I like the Elite controller. Like that thing's dope. But the standard out of the box controller just feels plasticky and not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I think it's the triggers. The triggers don't feel right.
Which is weird because they perfected it with the 360.
The 360 triggers
is
are
almost the perfect controller.
Almost. Yeah.
I can like for me it's probably PS2 for what it is, PS2, and then 360. I really like PS4, but the touchpad useless. Light bar relatively useless. Like it does have a use, but no one uses it for that use.
Which is?
It was for the camera and not iToy VR.
Oh, well, but people have VR use it for that use.
Yeah, but it's not like.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't need. Yeah, absolutely. Like they should just remove that bar. But the thing is, the bar serves one function, which is it makes the controller a little bit wider so that the control sticks aren't so close together.
Yeah, no, I really do like, and I
like they'll need to put something else in its place.
yeah, and I prefer.
Oh, give me that little
onset.
LED screen from like the Dreamcast. That'd be cool. Do that.
You just want to switch.
I have a Switch.
I know.
No, but like if they're gonna replace the touchpad, like do something that's so it's got some functionality because you don't just if that
You
was
do what the Duke controller's doing, where it just has the startup on
the Duke can go to hell.
but like the remake Duke.
But like the controller, like if you were to just remove that and just put it as a blank thing, it would look weird. So
Oh,
if, that,
yeah, no.
if that was like a little LED screen with like some information there, that'd be fun. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm tired of gimmicky controllers. I just want controllers that taste like real controllers. Like, Switch...
I can't believe it's not a controller.
Yeah, like, it is... What am I thinking? Like, the only thing I want is better rumble. Feeling the Switch, and even the Xbox One, the HD rumble, quote-unquote, feels good. Like, you're like, oh yeah, it's like playing Forza demos and stuff, which is all I've done. It feels good to have the...
Oh, the feedback rumble. The
Yeah.
ones they have.
It just feels better, whereas the PS4 feels lacking in that. And
The thing is, like, rumble, I don't care anymore.
No, it feels... For me, with the Switch, it feels good. And I feel... And I think it only
I
really
turn the rumble off.
Really?
Yeah, because I usually play it in handheld mode, and having a handheld console vibrate doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that is right, but I kind of like it just because it is more
When
than
I'm-
just the base of the controller.
Yeah,
It's
when I've got it in the Joy-Con grip and I'm playing there, that's fine. Like, I'll turn the rumble on for that. But when I'm playing it on handheld mode, which is most of the time,
Yeah.
rumble off.
Yeah.
Because, having your screen go is, like, really weird. Because the HD rumble, like, the rumble in those things is fucking incredible. Like, how much that thing vibrates for how tiny it is,
Yeah.
that's really sus, isn't it?
And the battery, like, I want the battery to go down on the controllers because I want something to charge. Because I like charging. I like the idea of charging my Switch and the controllers at the same time.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, because I like charging and multitasking. So when I'm trying to take them off, I'm like, I've been playing this game for 4 hours and it hasn't even gone down a blip.
It's
Fucking ridiculous.
The only time I've ever seen Joy-Cons, like, with battery issues is if it's a manufacturing fault. Like, I've seen, like,
Yeah.
reports of maybe a dozen Australia-wide
Yeah.
of the Joy-Cons. Like, they're, like, it's like a specific manufacturer fault that happens at one point where, like, one of the Joy-Cons just won't hold charge.
Yeah.
It still has the same battery life as the other Joy-Con. It's just that once it's dead, it can't recharge.
Yeah.
And it's like a factory fault and they just give you a new one.
Yeah.
But the Joy-Con's lifespan is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I'm
used to the original PS4 controller, which you have 4 hours to play the game.
Yeah. 4 hours, then fuck you.
No, I have the new one, and it is better. The new, like the V2.
The V2 is much better.
I love the V2. Like,
Yeah, same.
And it's blue, my favorite controller.
Yeah, mine's blue too.
Yeah. Nathaniel's got one now because the blue PS4 the blue controller, like my PS3 was also blue. I just like that as a console color.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mind a blue, like the special edition.
The
blue
Days
one.
of Play one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
was like, I think I did enter the competition. I'm like, Dean, you really like the color blue. Here's the blue one. He's like, oh, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But he needed money, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But Switch lasting for fucking ever. Like, is this like? It goes to Nintendo's. Like, it just goes to them. The DS is fucking immortal. Like, you cannot. Game Boy lasted forever. Like.
Yeah. Game Boy Advance, people still have those and they still turn on.
Yeah.
Like, not charged in 10 years, still turn on. Like, in the last 6 months, like, a bunch of podcasts I've listened to, I've had at least one or two of them say, like, oh yeah, I found my old Game Boy SP the other day. Hadn't charged it in, like, a decade. Thought I'd just open it up. Turned on. Not a problem. like, it had, like, 1 bar left, but it turned on.
Wow.
No issue. If I had the charger for the thing, I'd charge it up and play it, but I just can't. Like, Nintendo's always been good at having hardware that's just fucking indestructible. Like, they're really good at that.
Like, the 2DS is probably the epitome of that.
Yeah.
I don't, like, it just seems like it's just meant to, like, fucking chuck
Oh,
it at a wall and it won't die.
It's a toy. Like, it's designed to be more like a toy than like a console.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about the proper flip ones. I will forever erase the fucking doorstep.
Oh no, that thing is cool,
I know.
man.
I don't think it's cool. I think it's probably indestructible, but that thing needs to be erased from history.
No.
Yes.
I think that was one of the smartest things Nintendo ever did. Of just like, okay, kids love the DS and the 3DS. What's the problem with it? There's a hinge. 6-year-olds break the hinge. Okay, cool. Strip everything out of that motherfucker. Make it a block, make it a brick, make it out of fucking indestructible plastic, and then just drop the price and sell it. And it worked.
It did.
And it's
But it looks horrible.
It looks fine, but you know what it looks like? It looks like one of those Fisher Price like learning pad things. Exactly. That's exactly what it should have looked like, because it makes it gives it gives parents the peace of mind that A, this thing is not going to break the bank when they buy it, and B, it's not going to break the bank if they do break it, but C, breaking it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they needed. The 2DS XL is actually, I think, a step back because it's got the hinge back in it.
Yeah,
it's like, what, you made the 2DS because it's meant to be a kid's thing, and then you're just going back. Like,
I think that the 2DS XL is for like people who still want 3DSs but want a DS. Like, it's for people. Yeah, it's the people who are still playing 3DS games, but they don't necessarily want to pay the extra money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the 2DS XL is like, they just print special editions now.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's all you're just buying $199 Pikachu editions every day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's fine. Like the 2DS is fine,
Yeah.
the XL version, but I just think that like the idea behind the original 2DS is just such a good idea of just like, which is why I think eventually the Switch will have a version where the Joy-Cons can't come off.
There's so many different things like this. Okay, now we're getting into the conversation. Like, we'll move on to the Switch.
Yeah.
Like what we want next on the Switch / Nintendo. I think we just go next Switch iteration.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways. They can do a dockless one, which they've done in Japan, which can't surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You can do just stapled on Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
When it's just a portable machine.
Mm-hmm.
That could work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that's
A Switch XL, slightly bigger screen.
I would love a Switch XL.
Mm-hmm.
I would like the screen real estate to be a bit better because like it's just a lot of black around the outside, and I get that for aspect ratio and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just like to just fill it out a bit more because when I want to try handheld gaming, there's just a lot of black around the outside. Like put it in like tabletop mode.
Yeah.
When I don't always it just looks way too small that way.
Yeah, I mean it's fine if you actually put it in handheld mode and hold it.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I do want to try tabletop mode and sometimes like give it a go.
Yeah.
My thing like was
tabletop mode was how I used it at work.
Yeah,
because you can just put it on a desk and sit back.
Yeah. I tried it for. I was doing it for Zelda because they have a lot of motion control, and for me, just using the Switch, which is it's harder. So I put it in tabletop mode, put it in the Joy Grip, and then like balance it that way, and that just worked better for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just couldn't really see what was going on. What else can they do? Boost the dock, give it more energy, so that like not necessarily 4K, but just give it more power.
See, the thing is,
I don't know
okay,
what you
so
can do with that, but just like a 2DS sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah. We wanted to talk a little bit about like just for people so that you're caught up to speed. Sort of talking about where these consoles will go from.
And I think
here.
we've done that a lot with the Xbox. Like we hammer home what we want. We just want a machine that tastes like real machines. Like,
yes, yeah. Please let it do what it says on the box. Please.
Xbox.
Yes, I want it to be an Xbox. I want it to be essentially what I hope from it. Is that when they announce it, they just call it the Xbox. I don't want a subtitle. I don't want a thing. I just want them to say the Xbox. Why are you calling it the Xbox? Because it's the Xbox. It plays everything.
I would say yes for the Xbox One. Now it's going to get real fucking confusing because you've got the Xbox One. Oh, what are you referring to? The Xbox One or the original Xbox? There's just sometimes people just still get like some people just call the first Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And it's like, shit. And then you have the Xbox, and like, are you referring to the Xbox or the new Xbox?
Yeah, this is the thing I think it actually wipes that slate clean. Because what it means is that you go, I need a thing, like, what I would hope happens is that it wipes the slate clean because it just says, this is the Xbox. Oh, which one? All of them. That's what it is. It is all of them. It plays everything from the OG all through to now, and then from this step forward, if you ask someone, oh, do you have an Xbox? And they say yes, you immediately go, cool, that means I can play this. Yeah. It doesn't matter which version of Xbox game you've got, it works on the box.
In terms of that perspective, yes. In terms of, like, looking back...
Oh, chronology, it's going to be fucked.
Yeah,
fuck it. Like, yeah, who cares? Fuck us, right? Like, at the moment, I think the accepted parlance is the OG Xbox, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One. If they change this to be the Xbox, that's what you would call it. It's OG 360 One, the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's how you would get it.
Yeah. So, yes.
Did I ever tell you about the whole Xbox One X thing?
That it spells out One Xbox?
It spells out Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just remember
I don't know if you told me, if I just discovered that one day. I was just looking at the words and like... No.
Because like someone specifically said to me that like when it happened and they're like Xbox One X, XBOX, Xbox, and then someone just told me, went, huh, they solved the X-Bone problem.
Yeah. Which I love X-Bone because X-Bone, they didn't even realise for the longest time. They fucked up. No, they didn't fuck up. They were just looking at this word for ages. And usually you figured it out.
They couldn't see the forest for the trees.
No. And then they just, and even like the people, like, I've listened to interviews about, like, people talking about the Xbox One. And then they finally came out, like, day one, X-Bone. Like, fuck!
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah, like the marketing department, I think, came out that day when it happened, and they were like, we didn't even think, we didn't even realise. And it's so in your face.
One,
yeah.
Like,
X-Bone, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love how they solved
that story.
Yeah, I love how they solved it. But with the Switch, I don't know what I want from the next one, because I don't think we're going to see a next one for a long time. We're looking at like 2022, I think we're looking at.
Oh, maybe.
Because it came out in 2017 and Nintendo's been pretty consistent.
On how they treat it. If they treat it like a console, we may not even get a reiteration. If they treat it like a handheld, we're going to get a fucking ton of different iterations of
Yes, yeah. What I'm saying is like next generation.
Oh, like Switch 2.
Yeah, this like whatever comes after this.
I have no idea.
I don't know what they're going to do.
They gave like I didn't know. I knew I wanted this. I was always saying like, I wouldn't be like everyone says, oh, we didn't know what we wanted. Like, no, for years we've been saying.
Well, it's the answer to the question the Vita asked.
Yeah. And
but
Vita gave it a good go.
Gave it a good shot, but everyone kind of went, nah.
You fucked up. Your memory cards are too pricey. You've got weird proprietary connections.
Yeah.
You're too much.
Yeah. You're also too delicate.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah.
For
kids, like at the end of the day, you eventually want your console to be marketed to kids,
and that's why
the Vita's too expensive. Like the Vita was just too flimsy.
Yeah, and that's why I think that it's gonna be treated like a handheld. Like they want this thing to get as cheap as possible, so that there's not one console per house. They want every kid in the house to have a Switch.
Yep. So they like I said, I think we'll get the one with the Joy-Cons strapped onto it, so they can't be moved off. I think we'll probably get one made like the 2DS with like a lesser grade plastic, so that it can take a drop and a bump and stuff like that. I think that'll be the same system.
Yeah.
The Switch XL and
I wouldn't mind like a new Switch in terms of like more power. I don't know what that would
mean. And that was the thing I was going to say is Nintendo doesn't tend to focus on power ever, apart from the GameCube.
That's the only time they've been contemporary. Oh, Super Nintendo. Well, NES. Anyway, point is, GameCube probably the closest that they've been like thing. And
to being like we want to match the power.
Yeah.
I think the 64 was technically more powerful than the PS1. I think technically.
In weird ways, yes. In other ways, no. Like PS4, PS1 had fuck ton more polygons. Like
Graphically, it beat it, but I think it was the sound.
Yeah.
Where things got a bit weird. Yeah. But anyway, Nintendo never focuses on power. At least not since the GameCube. And they've been focusing on innovation and change.
Yeah.
So whatever the thing comes after the Switch, I guarantee you we have no idea what it is.
No.
It is coming from left field, and we will either be like, what a fucking stupid idea, or that's the best thing ever. Why didn't we think of that earlier? Those are the two options.
I have no idea what next Switch. Because we're still baby Switch. I'm still in love with it. I'm playing Zelda now. Like... And that's a game.
And like I said, I don't think if they treat it like a handheld, we might get an iteration within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're looking at anything brand new from Nintendo until 2022.
No, easily.
At least because they have been pretty consistent with their 5-year cycle.
Yeah.
2012, 2007, 2002. Like it's been pretty consistent of like a 5-year cycle. So they're probably in R&D for whatever the next thing is.
Probably very light touches. Maybe
concepting, figuring out what they want to do with it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first time they actually decide to like stick with something.
If we'll get like a Switch 2
like rather than a complete like pivot again, because the Switch is very popular, and I think it would be very. Here's the one thing I will say for the next Nintendo: I think it'd be very difficult if they decide that they created the first proper portable handheld home console, and then pivoted away from that.
Yeah.
Because people will get used to being able to take these games on the go and wanting to be able to play them at home and and on the go. To remove that functionality from people, they might not like that. So I think that might be a marketing misstep. I feel like this is, like the Switch is the basis for Nintendo now, and whatever we have will now just be offshoots of this technology or iterations on their technology.
I think, I had a couple of thoughts. I'm losing track of already. Switch. I don't know if it's new Switch or Switch Pro sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Switch Pro could be good because a lot of people are like, we're getting some cool Bethesda ports which run pretty well. They're not always 60 frames. Which
Well,
is
the
what
thing
you-
is a 360 essentially. in its
Yes, the
output.
360 PS3 like thing, and like Doom is running on it. I'm like, that's pretty. That's a weird. The original Doom.
Doom
Can you
20
run Doom?
yeah.
Yes, it was on a calculator.
Yeah.
Which is Fortnite now.
Yeah.
Can you run? Does it run Fortnite?
Yeah.
Thing with that is, yes, Switch Pro would maybe like PS5 games. Maybe you'd be able to like get those couple of maybe like Wolfenstein 3 sort of thing, bring them down. Just like give them that extra bit of extension. Like yes, some of the we still have the power, just like, but then you've also got to accommodate for the lower Switch. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that Nintendo will continue to do what they're doing, which is they're giving games to hardcore gamers that they want,
Yeah.
like the Bethesda ports and stuff like that, and you get some Ubisoft ports and bits and pieces, and they will focus on creating their own games. Still, Nintendo is a first party company. That's where their bread and butter is.
Yeah.
That's where they make the games. That's where they make the sales. That's where everything sits.
Quick side note. Let's try to make this quick. Do you think we'll end up seeing other third-party games for this?
For
Because
the
we are not
Switch?
seeing, like, besides indies, we're not seeing third-party titles, like originally developed. I think Mario Plus Rabbids is probably the closest, but they're still using Nintendo IP.
Originally developed for it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, you don't think, like, even if it gets super, like, if it outsells PS4, if it's on its track, you don't think...
No.
Really?
And here's why. Because it is still underpowered.
But, like,
Because-
that didn't hurt the DS or the PSP or anything like that.
No, but the difference here is that
The mobile marketing this.
yes, and the other thing here is companies nowadays are much more risk averse than they ever were before, and currently, if they are to develop a game, if it's going to go to the Switch, it will go to both other platforms because the install base on Xbox One and PS4 is guaranteed.
Yeah.
The install base on Switch, not only it might explode, but the demographics that Switch hits are so broad that you don't know if your game's going to hit all of them. So if you're a Ubisoft or something like that, and you're making a game, and you're like, we're going to release it on Switch. Oh shit! 50% of the Switch market is under 14. They can't buy your game. It's MA 15 plus.
Yeah.
Oops.
I also
That's
just had
why.
a thought. Square is supporting it. Octopath Traveler. Was that Nintendo published? Like that wasn't Octopath wasn't at any of their press conference. I mean, Square's probably it was always a Nintendo game. I still think like we could get Square's pretty good at supporting handhelds, and because handheld, I want to see how this is doing in Japan.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
like I have not seen numbers for Japan, but I suppose it's doing really well.
yeah.
If there's the
I mean,
Monster
yeah, I
Hunters,
guess there's
and then,
that
like,
stuff.
If there's like a couple
Yeah,
of Final Fantasy
actually.
imports.
Yeah.
But even if there's like original, like I think Octopath is their Final Fantasy for this thing.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I guess I could see that kind of stuff.
Like
But I was
Japan's supporting
thinking-
it a bit more.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of like,
Yeah, I was thinking West initially, but yeah.
yeah. I was thinking West as well.
Yeah, no, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Octopath Travel is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think that'll get ported, or do you think? Oh no,
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will.
I think years later.
Yeah,
we'll get.
it'll eventually get a digital version on the
Yeah.
PSN easily.
What's the other thing? Yeah.
I think we should wrap it up soon. 'cause I think we've been
Do
going
you want
for
to
a
move on to PS4 quickly? Like what we're gonna see for PS5?
Just a better PS4 is
yeah.
what I want.
I just want more power. I want the PS Store to be redesigned. To actually, like, I'm okay with what it is at the moment, except give us a keypad instead of thingies.
Yeah, instead of the whole
Yeah,
going down,
that's
up
like
and down.
pretty much
thing.
all I want redesigned from that.
Yeah.
Besides the stuff that we always wanted, like like changing our trophies, no, not trophies,
Changing our names.
changing our names, better integrated trophy system, not having to sync them all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like,
I want a faster internal Wi-Fi connection
yeah,
because the Wi-Fi,
it's not great.
yeah, the Wi-Fi card in the PS4 is bad. It does not. And I want basically I would like PSN to have its upgrade, like a server upgrade, to make the downloads faster and all that kind of stuff, to take advantage of the fact that that console is really good.
Yeah.
And then I just want everything else to be better.
For me, I want a well-designed controller.
I like the PS4 controller,
I do too.
Keep it.
It's the battery life that pisses me off.
which I'm sure they can improve.
Yeah,
The thing with the PlayStation is that like they stuck with the same controller design for 3 iterations, so I don't see them changing it this time around.
No, I don't want like big enough. I just like this is the DualShock 4 is the most wild DualShock.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the original DualShock. But even then, that was based on the original controller. But anyway, just take out the touchpad.
Yeah.
But only thing with the touchpad is that it allows the share button to exist. But also...
Does it? Like, you can click the share button. Why?
No. My thing is, the start and select have been replaced with options and share. And then it just leaves this middle button, which has now become select, for all intents and purposes. But then I was thinking the Switch, it has plus and minus, and a share button. You just click that button and it's just...
If you remove the touchpad, you just replace it with another button.
Yeah.
Like, just
And
two other buttons.
Also, you just hold in the button. You just hold in home, and that takes a screenshot for you. If you've got that shortcut. Okay, just take out the thing and the light. Or, I don't know, make the light turn off.
No, leave the light. Light's fine.
Okay,
light's necessary.
Make me allow it to turn off. Just
If
give
they're
me the
looking,
option.
if they're looking to VR, they need to keep the light.
Yeah. Okay,
Why do you need to turn the light off?
Because it drains battery. Like, my biggest problem with V1 is that it's the worst battery I've ever had on a console. My PS3 controller was fucking immortal.
Yeah.
Like, I never charged that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have no like battery life. I just people get so like I look at battery life as like, okay, well, it's starting to drain down. I might as well just take a 15-minute break because they charge pretty quick.
For some reason, mine didn't.
Mine does, yeah. Like literally, I'll be down to 1 bar. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break. Plug it in. Go grab some food. You know, chill out for a little bit. Come back. Fully charged. Sweet. I'll just keep playing.
Yeah, no, mine
I just use it as my break.
But
PlayStation doesn't have to do much. They just have to make sure they get it right. They don't fuck it up.
In their marketing, like I think, like they could do.
Not necessarily their marketing, just the actual console itself. Because if they decide to go like, you know what we could do with PS5, let's bring that cell processor back. Like if they do that, then they're fucked.
I don't think
they need to keep the architecture, keep everything as it is, just make the improvements.
I want backwards compatibility. You sold me on this idea that like basically like it's what's the hard one? Yeah, the cell processor. Like the fact that all these other games are being ported to PS4, but not PS2 games. Like we have God of War 3 remastered. We have a couple of other PS3 games that are remastered, but not like they didn't do God of War 1 and 2 for PS4.
Yeah,
Those couple of things you sold me on that theory that PS5 is just going to do everything but PS3. But you'll have the PS3 game that you want, like God of War 3 remastered, like Last of Us remastered.
Yeah,
like
the PS3 games that matter, they're already done.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully they give a little money to places like Insomniac to give us, like, the Infamous and all that kind of stuff done. But, like,
Blue Point do it.
Yeah.
Blue Point apparently, like, we're doing a really big, intense remakes now. I'm like, you go for it.
Yeah, you guys do that. And then there's the Uncharted collection. They did the big ones. So, like, that's okay. It's just that the PS5 will have the backwards compatibility with PS4, and then the 2 and the 1 will come to the digital store, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's all I think they need to do. All I think
Bring the classics back. Bring back to PS1 classic and PS2 classic.
Yeah. All I think the next generation needs to do is give me more ability to play my old games.
Yeah.
From all 3 systems. Yeah. Give me the ability to play the old games. The Switch should absolutely give me a GameCube. Like let me virtual console. Yeah. Give me those games. I need them in my life.
Yeah. The other thing was the classics idea. One of the best things PS4 did was some of the late games you bought on PS3, like Journey and For Me Flower and Unfinished Swan. Mm-hmm. They acted like an iOS game. Like they recognized that I bought it. I did a transfer.
Yeah.
All the games weren't like that, but it was a
some
good
of them
start.
did. Yeah, save transfers were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of that.
There's plenty of stuff that we can see from the next generation. Again, the thing is, we are so far away from that. It's still 2 years at least. So let's enjoy the games we've got because we've got a lot coming up this year.
Yeah.
We should wrap up because I don't know how long we've been going for.
Oh, quite a bit. Not that bad.
Hour and 20.
On the note of just quickly, the thing iPhones do that. You buy you buy your game. And then you can buy it. You can go up 3 generations of phones, and then you're still able to buy the thing. I just download it.
Yeah. That's what we need to look at when it comes to the consoles. Is that eventually they will get to that point of just look, as long as you've got the latest one, you can play everything.
Yeah. Even if it's back to PS4, if we just start it there and just keep going forward, that'd be great. It would just create an ecosystem. I think that's why Android Marketplace and Apple Marketplace is okay because your apps transfer. You had to buy the same app every fucking time you bought a new thing. That market.
Those ecosystems would break apart. Yeah, because people would just be like, no, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. I'm not paying 99 cents again for Angry Birds again, or...
No one should have paid 99 cents for that in the first place.
Angry Birds isn't a bad game.
It's a fucking...
It's a sound touch design game.
Sure.
Shannon Haegler, Angry Birds. That's the title of this video.
Fucking hey. Oh.
Fucking. Did you watch the movie though?
Nah.
They're doing a TV show on Netflix now. Number one fan of Angry Birds, Shannon Haegler.
Is it like 10 years too late for that shit?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Alright.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you liked it, hit the like, subscribe, share. Remember the email address, amalgamshow@gmail.com if you have any questions. And the Patreon, which is patreon.com/amalgamshow.
Yes.
Yeah, winner. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Apologies for the delay in the gap in shows. Hopefully we get back to a normal schedule.
What do you think the next generation consoles will be? And what do you want from them? Fortnite 3?
Oh, fuck off.
We're skipping 2, going to 3.
Yeah, talk about... Oh, man.
Until next time.
Oh, bye.
Everyone hates Fortnite on this channel except me.